hanging by the pole, breaking all the rules.
Hey Cali girl, what you wanna do?
Wanna pump those waves, catch some rays.
Get your scuba gear.
Hot summer days. Cali girl, California.
Your body.
You're Cali girl. Cali girl.
Hit the showers, girl.
Your body. You're Cali girl.
Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to the channel. Or if you are new here, welcome. My name is SJ. I'm an adult doll and toy collector who just wants to talk about dolls and toys. And welcome to another episode of Behind the Toys with me, SJ, where I talk about a toy line that I remember fondly from my childhood and try to figure out what happened to it. And today we are going to be talking about the Barbie Cali Girl, or it's also known as the Barbie California Girl doll line. So let's get into it. After the discontinuation of the Barbie Generation Girl line, Mattel needed a new way to reinvent Barbie. In the early 2000s, there seemed to be an obsession with the beach/surfer aesthetic. Hit dramas like The OC and Laguna Beach were captivating teen audiences, along with the movie Blue Crush. So it was only natural to want to take that laid back, beachy surfer aesthetic and bring it into your wardrobe. It was, after all, what was on trend at that time. Stores like PacSun, Hollister, and Ron Jon Surf Shop became very popular. Clothing brands like Roxy, Billabong, and Quicksilver were on just about every page of teen magazines. Half the time, I don't even know what they were advertising. I guess good times with good friends. And as someone who was born and raised in South Florida, only being 20 minutes from the beach, this was everywhere. Think cute camis with the lace neckline paired with cut-off denim shorts or a denim skirt, board shorts paired with a Roxy tee, seashell necklaces and anklets, and distressed jeans paired again with a cami or tank top and a Hollister hoodie, a Roxy hoodie, or a plush cozy cardigan thrown over it. And you can't forget the skinniest, thinnest flip-flops you could find. Mattel had this way, and I say had because they're kind of lost and out of touch with trends and quality nowadays. This is probably why I don't get PR. Anyways, but Mattel had this way of looking at trends and seeing what was popular with the age demographic that they were trying to reach, which was preteens and teens. And at the time, the whole beachy surfer girl aesthetic was very on trend. So here comes Barbie Cali Girl. The Barbie Cali Girl line hit shelves, and it actually consisted of several waves. It wasn't just like a one and done kind of thing. There was a lot in this line. With the introduction to the Barbie Cali Girl line, Barbie actually debuted an entirely new look. She had very tan skin, blonde, well, it wasn't blonde. Her usual golden blonde hair was actually dyed a little bit of a darker blonde, and she had like these platinum blonde highlights throughout it, which was a very on-trend style at the time. The line focused on 7 characters, and those were Barbie, she needs no introduction, Christy O'Neill, who is Nikki's older sister, Summer Gordon. Summer is Australian and just moved to California and is described as confident and competitive. Then you have Blaine Gordon, who is Summer's brother, again, just moved to California from Australia and is Barbie's ex-boyfriend. Then we have Ken. We all know who Ken is. And we have Teresa, Barbie's best friend, never left her side, and is her ride or die. And we have Leah. Now, the very first wave first release of the Cali Girl dolls consisted of Barbie, Christy, Teresa, Ken, and Leah. Each doll came in like a swimsuit with some sort of cover up to do with the doll. Like, for example, Barbie had like this black cover up over her bikini and board shorts over her bikini bottoms. They also came in slender boxes, and on the boxes there was actually what was called a surf story on it. It was kind of like a fold out thing, like panel on the back of the box that told you all the fun and excitement that they were having on the beach that summer. And the commercials that tied in with these Barbies, with this Barbie line in general, were some of the best commercials that I've ever seen. Like, I was like, I want to be best friends with Barbie. I want to be there on that beach partying, having fun, sitting around a bonfire, hanging by the pool, playing volleyball. I want to be a part of that. Barbie was like living her best life. Carefree, fun, on the beach until sunset, and when sunset hit, she was having a bonfire. Like, I also, in a way, almost feel like this was Barbie's bad girl era in a way, almost, because she said, forget all the careers, forget school, I am going to be partying every single day. After that first release, there was a second release, because naturally this line is doing so well that they are going to release other dolls. And these dolls were still in swimsuits, but they were also scented. I have 2 of these dolls from the second wave. Mine are not scented anymore, but from my understanding, they were scented like coconut or like suntan oil kind of scent. Kind of a weird gimmick, but okay. These dolls also came with a stand. These were your basic swimsuit dolls, and they came with a stand. Cardboard surfboard, a bottle of SPF, and this line, this second wave of dolls, saw the introduction of Blaine and Summer. And it was also the introduction of the big flat feet, which is something that a lot of collectors do not like, but I actually do like it. I think it kind of gives the dolls character. So for example, here is Barbie from the second line. Real quickly, I will show you her stand because it's not just your basic stand. It looks like sand, and it says CG right there for Cali Girl, and then you have like your basic backing with the waist clip. But here is Barbie, and you can see like she is tanner, and her hair is darker, and she has a fabric swimsuit, and here are the flat feet with the painted toenails, and she has an anklet. Like, for a basic swim line, they really did go all out for these dolls. The fact that they came with a stand, I can't get over that. Real quickly, I will show you Teresa from that line. Like, Teresa is Barbie's ride or die friend. I had to get her. Her hair is still a little damp because I did have to wash it. But here is Teresa with her little seashell necklace. And one thing that I really love about Teresa, her swim bottoms look like little jean shorts. And again, she has the flat feet and her toenails are painted black. All right, we are going to start talking about the play sets because you cannot have a Barbie line without some play sets that tie into it. And my God, were there a lot of play sets for this line. So there were 2 pool play sets. The first one that was released was kind of round. I think it had a diving board. It had like this thing on it that you could pump and you could create waves for surfing fun action. And it also had a shower. The other pool that was released was square, and it had like a pool deck kind of attached to it with some like chairs that the dolls could sit in. And then there was the Cali Girl Hawaiian Hotel. And this was kind of like a little fold out type set. It had like a check-in desk, a little balcony, I think it had like a little hot tub or something attached to it. But the bed, do you see that bed? That canopy bed? I need that bed. My dolls need that bed. And then there was the Hawaiian Vacation Hawaiian playset, because I guess at this point they went on like a Hawaiian vacation or whatever. And it looked like it was like a little tiki bar, like a little grill or something like that. It had some like lounge chairs or something. There was the Hang 10 surf shop, because I think Blaine worked at the surf shop and the girls would go there and hang out and go shopping and stuff like that. All right, now we're going to get into the cars that were in this line. I don't think I have ever seen a Barbie line that I don't think I've ever seen a Barbie line that has had so many cars. There were 5 altogether, and you had a yellow 4x4, a red 4x4, a yellow Chevy SSR, or a blue Chevy SSR. And now both of these came with CDs, because not only was it a car that you could put your dolls in and drive them all around, it was also a CD player. Where's fun stuff like that nowadays? And lastly, there was a red convertible Volkswagen Beetle that was also remote controlled. There was also a bike, and I know that's not a car, but I didn't know where else to put it, but the bike actually looks pretty adorable. Just like no Barbie line is going to be complete without playsets, it's also not going to be complete without horses. This line included the dolls Barbie, Summer, and Leah, and it included their horses as well. So we have Baja, who was Summer's horse, Pacifica, who was Barbie's horse, and Topanga, who was Leah's horse. These horses actually looked very realistic compared to the horses that we have on the toy shelves nowadays for Barbie. They had long manes and tails. They came with beads and seashells, because the gimmick with these was you could take the beads and seashells and braid them into the horse's mane and tail. They also had multiple points of articulation. They weren't just stationary. Their heads, like their necks, moved up and down. They had articulation in the top portion of the legs, as well as like lower leg. So you could make them rear, you can make them bend down, you could make them do all kinds of articulation. There was also apparently a stable play set, but in all the research that I did, which consisted of eBay, Google, Barbie Wikipedia, Barbiepedia, and Reddit, I could find all of one photo. One photo of this stable playset. There was also 2 sets of foals, one that included Hermosa and Redondo, probably saying that wrong, and Torrance and Laguna. And lastly, of course, naturally, there was a game that tied in with all of this called the Barbie Cali Girl Horse Adventure game. And the concept with this game, you could create your own horse. You took care of it, you chose the tack for it, you chose the name for it, and then you could take it out on tons of like riding adventures. This is just a grouping of a bunch of stuff that's kind of miscellaneous in a way, I guess, but there were fashion packs, and the quality in these packs makes me really sad to look at, because we don't get that quality anymore with any of the clothing pieces when it comes to Barbie, unless you get them from Mattel Creations, and they're about like $30 or more plus shipping. But these packs are to die for. I mean, there is one that includes Uggs. Uggs. My Barbies need Uggs, because these things are so cute. There was also a set of dolls where you could pierce their ears. As far as I have seen, read, and researched, there was actually no backlash met with this. Not like the backlash that was met with the Generation Girl dolls, where Tori had multiple ear piercings in her ear. This was like, oh, okay, we accept it now. But you could basically pierce Barbie's ears, give her like 3 holes in her ear. It came with multiple pairs of earrings and like the little ear piercer thing that you would need to like do it. So I guess that's interesting. Strange. I don't know. It's like a strange gimmick to me to put in with a toy line. And then of course you had your hair play dolls. These dolls were titled Aloha because they tied in with their little Hawaiian vacation that they went on. And I think it was 3 dolls, I'm not positive, but they had super long hair. And I need the Summer doll because she is absolutely adorable. And I need the Barbie doll because I'm sorry, her dress is so early 2000s core. And I love it. And lastly, for the dolls, you had your big packs. Basically, it was a doll and it came with 26 plus accessories. So think like scuba gear, I think like a towel, an extra outfit or whatever. So that I think was really cool to, you know, you don't have to just solely rely on the fashion packs. You can now get a doll that came with tons of accessories. There were also little magazines that came with the dolls, kind of like a callback to Generation Girl. These dolls came with the magazines, but you could also go online to barbiegirl.com, go to the Cali Girl section, and they uploaded, I think, like new magazine volumes every week where you could read more stories up on the girls and what they were doing. The magazines themselves that came with the dolls, I think, included the same stories and also included like beauty tips and stuff like that. This line also had 2 CDs, volume 1 and volume 2. Each CD had 5 tracks, and I feel like the songs or tracks that were on these CDs tied in to the story that Mattel was weaving for this line, because they were very much so weaving a story. So in the beginning of this video, I mentioned Christy and how she was Nikki's older sister. So when Barbie Life in the Dream House came out, you know, that really fun series that was on Netflix, and it was like hilarious to me because they were dolls living in a doll house kind of thing. I don't know how to explain it, but if you know, you know. But it was Teresa, Midge, Summer, and Nikki. There was no Christy. After this Cali Girl line, Christy disappeared. Not much can be found as to what exactly happened to Christy, but a lot of people speculate that they kind of discontinued Christy and just renamed her to Nikki. A lot of other people do accept the fact that Christy is Nikki's older sister, and kind of have woven this story to where during the Barbie Cali Girl line, Christy was not supportive of Barbie's new relationship, and it caused a rift between them. I kind of like to believe the drama part because it kind of makes it more fun and interesting. I guess, I don't know. I live for drama. Don't like being part of it, but I like reading it, you know? Anyways. But either way, Christy is actually labeled as a former best friend of Barbie and Teresa. And then there's Leah. Leah actually appeared in 6 Barbie doll lines, with Cali Girl being one of them, but she has since disappeared. And while Leah shares the same face mold as Kayla, with some people referring to it as the Layla face mold, Leah is gone. Dunzo. So, what do you think happened on that beach during that summer? The Barbie lore is crazy. Now, throughout this video, I mentioned that Barbie was in a new relationship. That's because Barbie did, in fact, break up with Ken. So a lot of the promotional images for the Barbie Cali Girl line did show Barbie and Ken being cozy and cuddly. But Mattel had other plans for this all along. See, Mattel was unhappy with the sales of Ken, saying Ken doesn't sell as well as Barbie. Quite honestly, girls just, I can't speak for all girls, but I have heard where girls just naturally gravitate for girl dolls instead of boy dolls. I kind of gravitate towards both. I mean, G3 Heath Burns, he's freaking adorable, man. Along with Deuce. I love the both of them, and it sucks that those were probably Deuce, Claude, and Heath are going to be the only boys that we're going to get in the G3 Monster High line because they don't sell well. It sucks. Sad to say, but I think all doll lines at some point realize we need to stop making boy dolls because they just don't sell well. But Mattel was not going to give up on Ken. They were like, no, we are going to rebrand him. And they rebranded him numerous times to get him to appeal to young girls and the preteen and teen demographic, and to also make him sell. But it just wasn't working. In the early 1990s, Mattel actually surveyed a bunch of girls, like I guess like young girls. I'm not sure the ages or anything like that, but they basically asked if Barbie and Ken should stay together. And a majority of the girls said Barbie and Ken, yes, should stay together, but Ken needed to be cooler. And that is how we got the iconic earring magic Ken. Like, true story. Like, that is how we got that doll. However, years go by, Ken still isn't selling well. Mattel sales are going down, and Bratz are now on the scene pretty much, and everyone is in love with Bratz and gravitating towards Bratz. Enter Cali Girl. Barbie needed to change. She needed to be on trend, keep up with the latest fashions, and be youthful and cool. And sadly, Ken's look just did not fit in the new direction that Barbie was headed. And Mattel was taking notes. They were taking notes. They were looking at what was trending with the preteen teen demographic. And what was trending with that demographic that they were trying to reach were shows like The OC, Laguna Beach. Another thing that was trending was big celebrity breakups. Like, it was all over vlogs, I guess, gossip stuff, teen magazines. Like, everyone was talking about these big celebrity breakups that were happening at that time. So why not create a Barbie doll line that took place in California on the beach during the summer and wove in trendy outfits and some type of teen soap opera drama? See, Mattel's way of thinking was that if they had their most iconic couple break up, attention would be brought back to the Barbie line. So Mattel had Barbie and Ken officially break up on Valentine's Day 2004. What a day for a breakup. They were really going all in for the drama.
Some of you may know from various encounters I've had with the media over many years, I never ever comment on my clients' personal lives, ever. I'll violate that slightly today, because I will confirm that Ken and Barbie are going to go their separate ways.
They even had Ken make a statement saying, Barbie and I have decided to spend some time apart. People often joke about my role as Mr. Barbie, but I wish her all the best in her new endeavors. She got a great new look and so many opportunities, and I am confident that we'll continue to keep a long-lasting friendship. You know he was over there crying in the corner that he lost Barbie. You know he was. And like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, when we were introduced to the second wave of the Barbie Cali Girl lines, we were introduced to Blaine. And Blaine was described as the hot new guy in town. To tie in with the Ken and Barbie breakup and the introduction of Blaine, Mattel held a poll on the Barbie.com website to determine if Barbie should 1. Be single, 2. Date Ken, 3. Date Blaine, 4. Date her longtime friend Steven, who was also introduced in the Cali Girl line, but I can't find any information on him. Like, he existed. I'm pretty sure he existed. His doll was there, but I can't find any information on him. Or she should date some guy named Diego, who never got a doll, but there is images of his doll on the Cali Girl website in like the little magazine portion. Once the voting was over and the votes were tallied up, Ken was sadly phased out of the Cali Girl line because Barbie had made her choice. She had chosen Blaine. And I just have to say, you polled, Mattel, you polled, surveyed, whatever, these young girls in the early 1990s, and had a majority of them say they wanted Barbie and Ken to stay together, just change up Ken's look a little bit. And then you just completely ignored that. And we're like, yeah, I know we polled you earlier in the 1990s, but welcome to the 2000s now, where Barbie is just kicking Ken to the curb and falling for the hot new guy in town, whose catchphrase was, "Dare me?" I don't like Blaine. There's something, I don't like how he looks. He's just like, he's a glorified meathead Ken, and I don't like it. So what happened to the Cali Girl line? It was doing good enough to have numerous waves of the dolls, cars, playsets. Mattel put so much into this line with drama, a breakup storyline. See, the thing was, Mattel was doing a shift to focus more on diverse and inclusive Barbie lines. And the issue with the Barbie Cali Girl line was, while it was popular and on trend at the time, according to Mattel, it represented a more narrow and specific representation of the dolls. So it's like they had, in a way, kept these dolls a certain way. And I feel like they didn't think there was room for growth in the line, I guess, is how I'm kind of comprehending it. So with the introduction of the Fashionistas line, which aimed to be more inclusive and representative of real world diversity, the Barbie Cali Girl line was discontinued. While I can understand Mattel's reasoning to discontinue the Cali Girl line, I don't understand the discontinuation of fun-filled storylines and good quality accessories. Like, young kids deserve fun stories and good quality accessories and decent articulation. Kids deserve that too. Like, I feel like you've dumbed down these Barbie doll lines so much that I feel like in a way you think kids who are your main consumers are dumb. And they're not. They are not. I just want to say, my daughter looks at, I've showed her all these Barbie lines that I had growing up, and she sees these high quality fabric pieces, these high quality clothing pieces, and she looks at what she has now with molded on tops, stiff fabric stuff, and plastic accessories, and she's kind of like upset that she didn't get to have that kind of stuff. But there's another part of me, like, who can understand it from a business point of view. Mattel seemed to pour so much love, dedication, and money into these past doll lines, and I think it ended up hurting them in the end, because some of their lines could have been met with backlash. There was the issue between Mycene and Bratz. Some of their lines, I guess, weren't inclusive. Like, yeah, so I can kind of understand it. But from a consumer point of view, you can still put love and dedication into new and existing Barbie lines. You can still feed us with fun, inclusive lines with beautiful world building. That is one thing I miss so much, is the world building that they did with the Barbie doll lines. If you can do it with Monster High, why can't you bring it back with Barbie? And in all honesty, the one thing that I think has been missing from Barbie lately is love. Like, I'm not trying to be all sappy or anything when I say that, but I'm talking love for the dolls, love for the outfits, love for the accessories, love for the storylines, love for the Barbie line in general. I feel like there's been very little thought lately put into these doll lines that have been coming out, except for Barbie Dream Besties. They doing good with that line, and that's great that you're doing it for Barbie Dream Besties, but doesn't your original iconic Barbie dolls deserve that kind of love and attention? I just feel like there's stuff's been lacking with Barbie lately. There's just no love or thought put into anything. And with recent news with the company, I don't see it getting any better. But I'm also hoping that they could prove me wrong. But like always, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Did you like the Barbie Cali Girl line? Did you know about the line? Who was your favorite character? Did you have any of the dolls? And when they were doing that whole voting thing on the Barbie.com website, did you vote? And if so, what did you vote for? And what do you think about the whole Ken and Barbie breakup? I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm sorry. I just like knowing what other people think, because it can start a conversation down in the comments. Okay, Odin. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. There goes Barbie. There she goes. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as it does help me and this channel out. And I hope to see you in the next video. I love you. Bye. Hey, Odes. Old man Odie, you gonna say bye? Yeah, you raised your paw. It's good enough.